Hello everybody, this is Kyrix with more This Week in Kyrix. Today is Tuesday, December 1st, 2020, for the week of Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020. I actually missed work yesterday, Monday. For whatever reason, I have not been able to get to sleep at the times I'm supposed to sleep. It's 2 days in a row now. I went to work Sunday. I got like maybe 3 or 4 hours sleep. Ended up sleeping half my lunch period, but I made it through work just fine. The deal breaker today, I say today, meaning Monday, even though it's Tuesday. It's only like 12:30, so it's only been Tuesday for like a half hour. The deal breaker today was, not only did I wake up exhausted, and again, I set a couple like snooze alarms and then woke up at the time I was supposed to leave for work, making me very thankful that when I redid all my alarms, the three that take place at home, which are go to sleep, wake up, and go to work, are all three different alarms from each other and from the ones during the day. Because what would have happened is I'd have woke up, if I hadn't changed them, I'd have woke up, maybe glanced at the time, maybe not. And if I hadn't glanced at the time, I'd have gone about my day wondering, what the hell's up with my alarm? And fucking missed work anyway. But the deal breaker was, I woke up, I'm like, okay, I've got a half hour PTO. I can spare a little time, let me walk the dog, etc. And it was cold, and it was raining a little bit. And those two things don't go well with me, because I don't handle cold, so I'd have to put long pants on, which would then get wet on the bike ride through the rain. Yes, I can wear a poncho, but my shorts get wet. And these shorts only go about halfway to my knee most of the time. You know? And if they can get wet under the poncho, then long pants that reach all the way down to my freaking ankles will get soaked, and I only have the one pair. I have other ones somewhere, allegedly, but fuck if I know where they went. I only use them at one point in the year, and then they just kind of go into hibernation. For all I know, the cats ate them. On top of that, the yesterday's forecast, that is to say Sunday's forecast, said that Monday would be rainy off and on all day. Monday's forecast said it wouldn't, and these forecasts are very hit and miss, even for the day of. And I'm sitting here thinking, God, if I have to deal with rain and long pants, that's a fucking deal breaker. So after a couple minutes, I just said fuck it and called in sick. Not called in sick. I didn't call in sick. I called in absent. I did the math. I'll be able to squeak by financially. I'm not going to be able to miss any more days until June. Unless I want to hope that it's a situation similar to Cap 2, where the people who did their work tended to get away with more absences than we're supposed to. Technically, I think we're supposed to be fired at 5, maybe 6 points? I'm going to say 5. But we had a couple people in Cap 2 who weren't fired until they hit like 18 points. And one who wasn't fired until 56 points. And in that case, the thing that did him in was that he had 3 no-call, no-shows in a row, otherwise he might have gotten even higher. And the reason he got away with such things is because he was basically the manager's assistant, you know. I don't want to say manager's pet, because that makes it seem like it's a nepotism thing or something. No, he worked his ass off, which I guarantee is why he just eventually said fuck it. Because this is the supervisor I had who has... It's a well-known thing that he has driven away all of his competent people. It's just... he just has. Why is that one monkey not doing his job? Anyway, He's driven away all his competent people by basically overworking the living shit out of them. And I was one of them. The one coworker who basically quit was one of them. A coworker who now works overnights is one of them, and that is why he works overnights. One that does the online shopping is one of them, and that's why she does the online shopping. I mean, you're sensing a trend here, right? And anyway, because we have such a low supply, really, of people, it is entirely possible that I might get away with it just because there's nobody to replace me. Now, I'm not willing to run up to 20 fucking points, but I'm also not willing to panic the instant I hit 5. To top it off, our personnel person is, for reasons nobody can figure out, completely fucking MIA. Like, she's just gone. She's on a leave of absence, no one knows why or for how long. It started out as a vacation time, and just turned into a leave of absence that has gone on for several weeks now. And so we have nobody working personnel, which is a bit of a problem because we're having all manner of scheduling issues and whatnot. So let the monkey get a drink. But yeah, that's why I missed work today. The rest of the week is scheduled to be very dry, so I shouldn't have that particular flavor problem. I'm likely to have all new ones, but not that problem. So we're just gonna eat berries for now. Only one each. We have to make them last. So, I've actually been thinking a lot at work about this game in particular. I kind of want to do just a review of it. Not like a normal end-game Let's Play, end-of-game review kind of thing, but just a review of things I like, things I don't like, things I wish I could change, things that if a patch came out would really do with a change, things that if they do make the sequel that they talked about, would be good to add or subtract from the game. You know, just stuff in general like that. Oh, lovely. We're starving to death. These are our cutters, yes. That's right. Okay, so we're gonna go to Muscle Beach. What that's fucking worth. Where's the spotty for this? I want my spotty. There's my spotty. Turn around. We're gonna memorize this. Have I not? No, I've totally known that. Oh, okay. Muscle Beach is down there. Actually, give me a second here. We're gonna set this as the current encampment because... Willow, stop! She's tearing up my new chair. It's what she does. So yeah, Willow actually made me lose... I think I talked about it already. But she made me miss a day of work because she's a little goblin. there's a mistake. But, yeah, one of the beautiful things, and this is the thing I love most about my job, is that it's very low intensity, which is to say there's a lot of time that's just dead space where I can just think. Because I like to spend a lot of time in my own head. And that might sound weird to a lot of people, but that's just how I am. I like to think a lot. Like, left to my own devices, I will spend a lot of time just mentally digesting shit. It's just what I do. And my job gives me ample opportunities to do that exact thing. So I love it. That's one of the reasons I really like being a cart pusher. There's not a lot asked of me. Yes, it's very physical work, but it's not physical in a very demanding way. It's physical in a very tedious way. And I'm actually okay with that. Because again, it just leaves me endless amounts of time to just sit on my ass and think about shit. You know? And that just kind of does it for me. You know? Are those? They are. Perfect. Alright, we're reasonably safe here. Or is this not? This is not. Shit! Wait, maybe it is. No, this is seaweed, but fuck it, we're gonna eat it anyway. Because I don't care, because we're hungry. Fuck it, Japanese people can eat kelp, we're gonna do it too. Everybody grab 2 kelps. Come back to me to get your spears. We're gonna fill up on mussels today. Because I've already decided that's what we're doing. So we're gonna fucking do it. Still, kelp's not horrible for us, I suppose. So yeah, I like to spend a lot of time just in my own head thinking about various things. That's where I recently came up with the conclusion, which even for me, who's not an Empire Strikes Back guy, this was kind of a big deal, that The Empire Strikes Back, I decided ages ago that it's not, that not only is it not, like a lot of fans seem to think, the best Star Wars movie, it is actually the worst. But the more I think about the movie, the more convinced I am of this. Because, and the funny thing is, all the things the fans complain about The Last Jedi for doing, like, oh, it doesn't follow canon, etc. This is all shit that Empire's guilty of. Like, the entire Han Solo arc in Empire is just garbage. It's pure fucking garbage. It only can be a thing if you ignore everything that happened in the movie. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I actually want to do a video fairly soon. In my unused up until this point, because I cannot find... I have yet to record a version that I'm happy with of the Let's Talk format, where I just discuss various things. And I want to do one on gatekeeping, because gatekeeping is actually kind of an important topic. And it gets an extremely bad reputation that I think is wholly undeserved. Now, there are very bad examples of gatekeeping, but for the most part, it's not only benign, but necessary, and I want to go into why in that video. But first, I have to make that video. You know, and I have to kind of script it, and I'm not good at scripting things. It's just, I don't follow a script. You've heard me, I ramble. Even when I write a script, I still ramble. And I called it a script, not a script. Because I'm an idiot who doesn't English. On that note, I actually was watching a bunch of various VTuber stuff today, including Korone, who I don't watch a lot of the Japanese YouTubers, or VTubers rather. It's not that I don't like them, it's just that I don't like having to read subtitles at all. That's why I don't watch subtitled anime most of the time. I have been a huge fan of Kizuna Ai for a long time, but it's also been a very long time since I've actively watched her. So. Where are you? You're near. No. Okay, fine. You get to be the badass this time. And you know what? Because of that, because you are such a badass, you and you alone get to partake in this meat. Normally that would be my meat, but you know what? You make the kill, you get the meat. Just that simple. But one of the things I came across was Korone, I think that's how you say her name, the little dog girl, doing an English stream of Super Mario Brothers, and that was just adorable. And her English has gotten really good, because I watched her first stream of that as well, and there's a noticeable improvement between the two. So good for her. She's making a lot of progress, and I'm proud of her. But yeah, there's lots of stuff that just I've actually said it before with gatekeeping, that aside from the people who just do not know any better, putting it in terms of actual keeping the gates kind of a thing instead of just like keeping people out of a fandom or whatever, the two main types of people who are against gatekeeping are the people who are outside the fandom in question, or in the example I use, the people who don't have barbarians at the gate, or they are in fact the people that gatekeeping is meant to keep out. They are the barbarians at the gate, you know? And I find that rather notable. And I find that to be fairly true most of the time. There are very rare exceptions where someone just thinks in general anyone should be allowed into anything. But the gatekeeping one's notable because this comes up a lot in my Star Wars arguments. And this is the one thing that consistently, when people yell at me about it, and I explain to them, they actually get it. Because when I talk Star Wars to people and actually give them information on shit, the most common thing that happens is they accuse me of being a troll, and that I do not do. Because it's not like I'm just saying, no, you're dumb, etc. I'm giving them detailed shit. One of the things that happened is there was a video where they were talking in a comic or something about how Rey had the Jedi texts, you know? And someone commented something along the lines of, well, that'd be great if we hadn't seen Yoda destroy them in the fire. And my response to that was, yeah, it would be great, because we specifically didn't see Yoda destroy them in a fire. We saw Yoda set the tree on fire, after it was made pretty clear that Ray had taken the books. You know? Actually, that part wasn't true, because we saw afterwards. But that's something I caught in the fucking theater. And I've only seen the movie in its entirety once, and I fucking caught that in the theater. And you may have noticed I don't have the best eye for detail, so if I caught it, you have no fucking excuse. But, I even linked the guy the scene in that fucking movie where it clearly shows the text aboard the Millennium Falcon. He's like, yeah, okay, troll. I'm like, bitch, I literally showed you the thing you're asking for, and you're calling me a troll? But no, the gatekeeping thing, I explained it to him. I'm like, okay. I say him. It's impossible to tell a person's gender on YouTube unless you can actually hear and or see them. And I could not, as this was in the comments. But I said, okay, let's set a little scenario here. Let's put your personal politics aside. I'm not going to assume them. But for the purposes of this, we're going to say you're in charge of a place, like a homosexual battery shelter or whatever, basically. A place where gay people can come to feel safe. You know, like if they've been discriminated against, if they've got fucking angry pitchfork-wielding mobs at their doors, that kind of thing. They come here and they feel safe. Let's say you're running one of those places, and you need someone to work for you. So, when people show up, do you just give them the job, or do you ask them questions? If you ask them questions, congratulations, that's gatekeeping. Because it is. Because you're trying to make sure that whoever comes in should be in, you know? And it seems really uninclusive because it is, you know? That's actually very important. So let's reapply these. And then I say, okay, so if you ask them questions, question number 1 might be something like, what's your opinion on gay people? And if they say something along the lines of, the only good faggot's a dead faggot, if you don't hire them, that's gatekeeping. And it should be. You should not hire that person. They clearly do not have your client's best interests at heart. Gatekeeping serves a function to protect the people under your care, you know? And like it or not, and laugh if you must, I have taken it upon myself to be a gatekeeper to protect the Star Wars fandom. And the reason for this, and I've explained this, I'm going to pause so that nothing sneaks up on me while I explain this. The reason for this is pretty simple. You have a huge swath of casuals in Star Wars. It's like 80% casual is what it feels like. And they're not all the kind I mock, the movie casuals. A lot of them are genuinely people who just have a passing interest in Star Wars. My roommate and my best friend are both in this category. My roommate asked me a question that if I'd been any less polite, I'd have laughed in his fucking face over, which was, have you ever heard of a Star Wars character called Thrawn? Which is like asking a wrestling fan if they've ever heard of a guy called Hulk Hogan. You know? He is the most famous Star Wars character to have never been in a movie. You know, if you are even remotely familiar with Star Wars, you know the name Thrawn. You know? And, you know, the fact that he didn't know that is fine. He's a casual. You know, that's why he asks me. He routinely, as he's watching The Mandalorian, asks me shit. A friend of mine who's far less of a casual than most, like he reads some books, he reads some comics, he's played most of the video games, is asking me shit about Star Wars that he doesn't know because he knows I do know. And I even tell him when there's gaps in my knowledge. Like, he's been quizzing me about shit that happened in The Mandalorian because I have expressed trepidation about watching The Mandalorian. I'm nervous about it because I'm afraid it's not going to be Star Wars because so many casuals fucking love it, and these people do not know what the hell Star Wars is. So I'm very antsy about it, you know? But going back to the topic at hand, these casuals do not know any better. They don't know who the fuck Thrawn is. They don't know who Mara Jade was. You know, these kinds of questions that anyone versed in old legends or current canon would know, they got no clue. And then you have these fucking movie casuals out here talking like they know what they're talking about and spreading misinformation. Well, this hurts the Star Wars community, because these innocent casuals who don't know any better hear this, hear the confidence that they're speaking with, and think, oh, these guys know what they're talking about. Wow, Star Wars sure has gone downhill. You know, because that's the prevailing mentality. And I'm supposed to be there to slap them and say, no, bad, go sit in the corner, and then take the other person and say, they're talking bullshit, here's the actual shit you want to know about. This is how this works. You know? Basically, it's like when you catch your child watching conspiracy theories, it's your job to show them a fucking textbook. And they're like, oh, okay, I guess in that light it makes sense why you are so aggressive with this gatekeeping. It's because I genuinely like casual fans. Actual casual fans who realize they are casual fans. I like them. They're fun. Star Wars is this fun thing for them. It hasn't been ruined by all the bullshit that I've dealt with for the past 20 fucking years. And sometimes they want to know more, and I want to teach them more. And sometimes they don't care, they just want to watch their movie, and they should be safe to do that without all these assholes telling them bullshit. You know? So, we are actually gonna try some evolution. Is there? There is. There is plenty of evolution left to do. But I don't care. We're gonna generation. Gonna do all this shit right here. Actually. We're gonna do this one specifically because why not? And we're gonna change generations. And the reason we're doing this is because I want to fucking mutate. I want to full on go to the next thing, get the tribe going, etc. Plus, it'll give us new traits. Wow, I didn't really accomplish a goddamn thing, did I? Was that one like eaten by a snake or something? Oh damn, that's a lot of baby monkeys, isn't it? Oh, very nice. You know what? That might be why I only had the one thing, or maybe I genuinely only had one thing. But because it might have just, hey, this is enough to get you there. But yeah, there is some really bad gatekeeping out there where they just don't want normies in their fandom. It's not that I don't want normies in my fandom. I don't want people in my fandom professing levels of authority they do not have and have not earned. You know, if you do not know your shit, do not pretend like you know your shit. Because you are hurting the fandom when you do that shit. Are we in the same place? We're basically in the same place. No, we're somewhere new. This is a much better location. Am I an elder? Yeah, I'm an elder. Oh no! Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think we're almost all elders here. Fuck it, we're breeding. Tribe must continue. I don't think I have it in me to pull this off, mostly because I'm horrendously lost. But I only have like 3 more weeks to do this in. But I would love it if I could end this year in Kyrix back at the Oasis waterfall, or the waterfall Oasis. That would just absolutely make my day. You know? But I really don't see it happening. I'm literally at the other end of the map, and it's a big map, and it's taking me a fucking year to get here. So I don't see that part happening. So, yeah, my check is not going to be as sturdy as I'd been hoping. Because I missed something last week, I missed something this week. The last week was only like 5.5 hours compared to the 8 hours of today. But that's still 13.5 hours out of my check. Let me get damn babbies. Ooh. Give me the babbies. Okay. Weapons are important. Part of me really, really wants to go back to the old base. But also, I recognize that this base is fucking awesome, that it's got fresh water and actual food. Okay, so we're still in the ocean. But it's anyone's guess where in the ocean. I mean, I do have a map. I can look. We're gonna need some tools. That's the main thing I want to get back to the old place for. I want my tools. I want my fucking basalt cutters. Okay, that's a new sound. It's not a new sound. I've heard it before, but I'm used to the old one. There's still a monkey who isn't in the group. And they're over here. And it's you. So here, this is yours. This one's mine. It's actually a good place to keep spare crap. Oh, whoops. Hold on. Yeah. So I've actually been playing a lot of The Escapist 2 lately. Because I bought it. Because fucking Jacksepticeye. That is the beautiful thing about YouTubers, YouTube Let's Players, and this is something I desperately wish companies would realize, that they are an untapped market. They really are. I mean, there are so many games, I swear to God. If a company had $1 for every game I own that I only own because of a Let's Player, that accounts for probably 60 to 90% of my game library. Because very few of these, this is one of the few games that I found for myself. But I mean, fuck it, I've got Steam open. Let's take a look here. Just a jog through my Steam library here. I've got a lot of games. You okay, Maya? Cat beat her up. Let's just take a look at all these games that I own specifically because of a Let's Player. Let's see. Come on, scroll up. I own 60 Seconds, Among Us, Barotrauma, Battle Beast Simulator, Black Wake, Castle Crashers because of the Runaway Guys, City State, Cuphead, Death Road to Canada, that's a big Proton John one. Deep Space Waifu, so that's something you know now. That's 10 already. Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together, I'm counting those at 1. Well, no, I'll count them both. The Escapists, well, no, The Escapists I found on my own. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Simulator, FTL, Hack Tag, 15, Honey Pop from Luca Jam, and Honeycam from Markiplier. Let's see here. Oxygen not included. Poker Night at the Inventory, Raft. Secret Santa, because John and Lucagen played it. It's a dumb little game. It was like $1. Let's see here. Stardew Valley, because I'd seen people playing it, I think. Super Amazing Wagon Adventure. Tabletop Simulator, oddly enough. I saw someone playing on that, and I'm like, oh, I want that. Think of the Children. Undertale I'm going to count, even though I specifically did not watch anyone until after I'd beaten it. Viscera Cleanup Detail. We Need to Go Deeper. Yeah, that's like 20 to 30 games out of my Steam library. And most of the ones I have were either something directly recommended to me because of another game, or a game I played on another console. Like, I have all the Tomb Raider games. I have all the Legacy of Kain games, except for Blood Omen 1, which wasn't in the list. Yeah. That is a lot of fucking games that I own because of YouTubers. And only because of YouTubers, because I saw Markiplier play it, or the Runaway Guys, or Jacksepticeye, or the Girls Play crew, you know? And I'm adding more people to that list all the time. Like, I've just started watching 4-Hit Combo and commenting on a lot of their stuff, and they're very responsive, which I enjoy. I enjoy when people actually talk to their viewers. It's kind of a big deal to me. So yeah, there's so many people, and that's just Steam, and I don't even have a lot of Steam games. I say as I scroll through a list of about 60 games. But no, if you compare to that to the fucking list I've got here, then there's not even remotely a fucking comparison between the two. You know, like my PS3, my PS4, even my Switch library, I've got like fucking 20 games, it feels like. Probably closer to... No, when you consider the downloads, I think I do have about 20 games. And aside from Pokemon, which was the entire reason I got the Switch in the first place, most of the games I own are either games I already had, like Civilization or Mega Man, or they're games that I got from YouTubers, you know? So it boggles my mind that companies will fucking copyright strike and DMCA and all this other shit to YouTubers. I'm like, bitch, do you know how much money they've made you? You know? Especially if it's a new game? Because I promise you, I'm not the only one who got peer pressured by a YouTuber to buy a fucking game. I promise you. There's no way in hell that's the case. And honestly, the idea that that could be the case is fucking laughable. But yeah, it just boggles my mind. And it's one of the many reasons I'm glad I don't monetize. But YouTube is apparently doing something really, really fucking scummy. And I cannot believe this is legal. Like, this sounds like something they should absolutely be sued for. Apparently, YouTube has started monetizing non-monetized videos. Meaning, if a video was demonetized at any point or never was monetized, like the videos on my channel, YouTube's just decided, yeah, we're gonna monetize it and we're gonna keep the money. And that's fucked up, because what that means, whether they do it or not yet, it's something they can and eventually almost certainly will do, they can decide if a person has a really popular video to demonetize said video and then monetize it for themselves and get the fucking revenue for it. Now, whether they will do that remains to be seen, but it's something they have the ability to do. And that's fucked up. So, there are a lot of people where you watch ads on the video thinking, oh, maybe I'm helping my favorite YouTuber. No, maybe you're just helping YouTube. So I want to say to all three people watching my channel, turn your ad block on, because if you see ads, they're not mine. I do not monetize. I do not have any intention to monetize. Originally, it was because back in the day, I couldn't make too much money. Not that I would have made a whole lot of money off my channel, but I couldn't make too much money off of, due to Social Security. And now, I just don't feel that I need it. I mean, granted, I'm not this financial juggernaut right now, but I don't think anything that I would have made would really make the difference. And I don't think what few dollars and cents I would make each week or each month or however often this shit rolls in would justify the inconvenience to my viewers, you know? Because I see it as sort of a trade-off like that. Like, yeah, maybe I'll make some money, but I'm also going to annoy the shit out of people who don't want to deal with that. Why should I be even remotely surprised that there are all these fucking otters right here where the mussels are? I mean, we're basically eating the same food. Well, now we're gonna eat that food. Better you than us. We're just gonna skirt right by. You leave us monkeys alone. Okay, he's settling down again. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna build a big fucking pile of these goddamn things right here. And just eat them when we're ready. But yeah, if you see ads on my videos, skip them. Fucking turn your ad block on. Do whatever you gotta do, because they're not generating any revenue for me. I do not monetize at all. Now, I will not tell you to do that to other YouTubers, because I have no right to do that. You know, it's not my fucking channel, you know. But that is something to keep in mind, that maybe when you're watching those ads, you're not supporting your favorite YouTuber, you're just giving YouTube money they don't fucking deserve. Because, and I say that because, yeah, YouTube's a company, etc., but it wasn't really founded to make money. And all of Google's attempts to make it make money have really fucking backfired every single time, because it can't. There are certain things that really cannot generate revenue. They just can't. And other things that fucking shouldn't, you know? Like, if you're making a lot of money off your healthcare, you have done something wrong. If your prisons are making you a ton of money, you have done something wrong. So yes, that's me coming out against private prisons, for-profit healthcare, etc. If your fire department is making money, you have done something horribly fucking wrong. There are certain things that you just accept will never make you money. And that's one of the reasons that I think, and I don't mean to get political on this, but a lot of Republicans fuck up on government because they try and make everything make money, and some shit is not meant to make money. It's just not. You know? It's just the sad truth of reality. Certain things aren't meant to make a buck. You're not meant to profit off certain things. And when you try, it just hurts everyone. Are these sea otters? Is that the difference here? I mean, it's fresh meat and the cat's gone, so there's no reason not to. Well, maybe he did eat the first round. Well, that's... different kind of otter, I guess. I don't fucking know. Get off my monkey! Guess he didn't go that far after all. Why did you drop your spear? He's gone for the moment. I should really make him just not get anything for that. Oh, I guess he did leave meat after all. Okay. About to say, I find it entirely too appropriate that the one monkey who fucking dropped their shit is the monkey who doesn't get it. Get some hallow to heal your ass with. Because I am a compassion leader. Even if you're fucking dumb, you don't deserve that compassion. So yeah, you might see in the near future a video about this game where I just talk about, you know, the stuff that I wish would make it in. And I really, truly, desperately hope that this game made the kind of money that it needs so that their planned trilogy comes to pass. Because it would really suck if that wasn't the case. You know? I think the world would be worse off for that. So yeah, we're gonna nom the rest of this otter and then go home. I think this game would benefit rather strongly from things like actual meters, like not this really oddly contextual thing, but like, hey, let me see the fact that, oh god, we're hungry as fuck. Oh wow, we're really thirsty. Hey, we need to sleep, because a lot of times I forget to do that shit, and then wonder, why am I dying? Until something hits the red. Spears in your hands. I had to take a moment to remember if all the monkeys were right-handed or left-handed. I'm like, okay, we're right-handed. Those are the right hands. And the worst part is, a lot of the AI fixes that I wish were in the game have the basics there. Like, for example, the monkeys, if they don't have a spear in the proper hand, but they have it in their offhand, will bring it to bear on an attacker. You know, like if I were walking around with the spear in my left hand where it's not supposed to be used, and then a tiger jumps out, the monkey will switch it to his right hand to defend himself. Just period. That's what he does. He's not, well, fuck, guess I'm gonna die. No, he's like, oh, I'm going to stab the shit out of this saber guy. But yeah, real quick, just the idea that you could assign tasks to certain monkeys would be really awesome. Like to just have one monkey, like an elder or something, and his or her only job is make spears, put in pile, you know? And the fact that these monkeys should have some kind of rudimentary warning system. Like when we're sitting here grazing, there should be a monkey up that fucking palm tree right there watching for danger, because that's how actual animals operate. Because it turns out they're really not stupid. Yeah, that's a thing that we get just for being us. Again, that's just being what we are. Yep. That's a good one. It's nice, I guess. No branches for us anymore. That's a good one. And I will see you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.